Tibet is a mysterious land that sparks endless curiosity. Is it an independent nation, or does it belong to China? Beyond its title as the roof of the world, what hidden customs and traditions await discovery here? Is it true that Tibetan girls must go through special rituals before marriage? Or is the tale of bedding 20 people just a legend? Why is Cowdung seen as a symbol of wealth? And what makes Cowdung cake a unique delicacy that travelers simply can't miss? Additionally, is immersing young children in freezing rivers with temperatures well below zero truly beneficial? Or does it come with unexpected risks? Join us in this video to uncover the mysteries and unique customs that can only be found in Tibet and answer all these intriguing questions. Does Tibet belong to China or Mongolia? Tibet is a region located on the Qinghai-Tibet Plateau, often referred to as the roof of the world, due to its average elevation of over 4,000 meters above sea level. While many people mistakenly associate Tibet with Mongolia because of similarities in clothing and nomadic lifestyles, Tibet is neither an independent country nor a part of Mongolia. Today, Tibet is divided into several regions, including an autonomous region and areas within other provinces of China. Historically, Tibet experienced periods of independence, as well as times under the rule of powerful dynasties from both China and Mongolia. Currently, China maintains control over Tibet, establishing a strict governance structure intended to reinforce authority and instill fear within the community. Known as the third pole of the world, after the Arctic and Antarctic, Tibet holds vast water and ice resources, with many of Asia's important rivers, such as the Mekong and Yangtze, originating here. Covering an area of 1.2 million square kilometers, Tibet comprises about 1/8 of China's total land area, an impressive figure that underscores its vastness and significance on China's geographical map. A unique marriage tradition in Tibet. Must a girl sleep with 20 men to marry? In Tibet, there exists an interesting and rather unique tradition regarding women's marriage. According to Tibetan beliefs, before officially becoming a wife, a girl must have sexual relations with at least 20 men. This practice is in stark contrast to many other cultures, where virginity is highly valued and protected before marriage. However, in Tibet, encouraging women to have multiple sexual experiences before settling down is seen as a way to gain valuable insights and knowledge for married life. Tibetans believe that if a girl marries while still a virgin, it is considered bad luck. Therefore, girls must seek out 20 men to persuade them to engage in relationships. After each encounter, they are also required to obtain some token from the man as proof of their connection. Additionally, polyandry is a significant aspect of marriage culture here, where a woman may marry 2 to 3 men, often brothers, to create a more harmonious family structure. When a girl marries a man, all of her husband's brothers must also marry her, with the eldest brother typically taking on the role of the primary husband, while the others act as fathers or uncles to the children. Although this tradition is rooted in cultural practices with specific reasons for promoting harmony and preventing the fragmentation of wealth, many young people today are gradually moving away from these customs and embracing more modern perspectives on love and marriage. Daily life of the Tibetan people. The daily life of the Tibetan people unfolds in the context of extreme weather, with temperatures plunging below 20 to 30 degrees Celsius. As a result, bathing is a rare activity, with many people only bathing a few times a year. However, this does not imply a lack of hygiene. In fact, the fresh air and vast space help mitigate body odor. Tibet spans an area of 1.2 million square kilometers but has only about 3 million inhabitants, averaging just 3 people per square kilometer. When it is time to bathe, many residents seek out public hot springs, where they can soak for the entire day. On warmer days, families may collect ice from lakes to heat for their daily needs. Some devout individuals choose to move into monasteries to escape the cold. Those with better financial means often relocate to warmer cities near Tibet, such as Lhasa or Chengdu, which offer heating systems and easier living conditions. In terms of occupation, Tibetans primarily rely on livestock herding and harvesting medicinal herbs. One notable breed is the yak, known for its long, thick fur and lung capacity that is 3 times greater than that of regular cattle. This breed is well adapted to high-altitude environments and can endure sub-zero temperatures. Every part of the yak is utilized by the locals, from milk and meat for food to fur for clothing and carpets, while yak dung is used as fuel for heating during the winter. The yak population in Tibet is estimated to be nearly 9 million, which is 3 times the human population. However, the cost of living in Tibet is relatively high, as many food items and vegetables must be imported from other regions. The difficult terrain and expensive fuel costs further complicate daily life, making it more challenging than ever for the residents. Cow dung as a symbol of wealth in Tibet. In Tibet, cow dung is not only a common material in daily life, but also symbolizes wealth. Upon arriving in this region, many tourists are surprised to see large patches of cow dung plastered onto the walls of houses. According to Tibetan beliefs, the more cow dung a house has covering its walls, the more livestock the family possesses, thus reflecting their level of wealth. The value of cow dung extends beyond its role as a symbol of prosperity. It serves as an important energy source. The Tibetan Plateau is located thousands of meters above sea level, resulting in thin air and consistently frigid temperatures that hinder tree growth. As a result, the locals cannot chop down trees for firewood as people do in the plains, necessitating the collection of cow dung as a substitute fuel. Particularly, due to the low humidity, cow dung dries quickly when left outdoors, and since grass is the primary food for the cows, their waste possesses properties that make it highly flammable, much like dry grass. Interestingly, Tibetan cow dung is completely odorless. This is attributed to the fact that cows here drink pure water and graze on the grass of the meadows, occasionally supplemented with cordyceps, which gives their dung a pleasant, herbal aroma. Additionally, there is a unique dish made from cow dung that may deter some people. Litti choka. This dish is smoked and cooked over cow dung rather than charcoal. If you see locals using cow dung for cooking in Tibet, it signifies that you are a respected guest in their eyes. However, do not be fooled by this friendly image. According to some studies, burning yak dung in Tibet can release over 1,000 tons of black carbon each year, which is considered the second leading cause of global warming. The barbaric funeral rituals in Tibet. You may have heard of sky burial or bird burial, which is one of the most famous and controversial forms of burial in the world. Instead of burying the deceased underground, Tibetans choose to take the body to the mountains and offer it as food for hungry vultures. Before the process begins, the lamas pray for the soul of the departed. The body is placed in a seated position for 24 hours, during which it is washed and wrapped in white cloth. Family members must refrain from all other activities and avoid crying during this time, allowing the soul to peacefully depart from the world and ascend to heaven. Next, the spinal cord of the body is broken to facilitate the transportation of the remains to the final resting place. Some family members or close friends carry the body on their backs. The sky burial ritual typically occurs at dawn when the sunlight begins to emerge. Family members chant prayers and play music while keeping a respectful distance from the body. The lamas continue to chant to absolve the soul of its sins, and the body is laid face down on a rock. Then, the burial masters, known as Rapa, burn juniper to create an aromatic scent that attracts the vultures and begins the process of dismemberment. They use a sharp knife to separate each part of the body, from hair to internal organs, which are then thrown to the vultures. The remaining bones are crushed and mixed with barley flour to make it easier for the birds to consume. Tibetans strongly encourage everyone to participate in the funeral to witness the entire process, fostering an awareness of the impermanence of life. This helps them confront death and understand that it comes for everyone. However, this practice is usually only encouraged for locals, and it is rare for outsiders to participate. Tibetans believe that if the vultures clean the body completely, the deceased's soul can achieve full liberation. When the birds fly away, their souls will also ascend to the heavens alongside them. This burial practice arises from the harsh natural conditions in Tibet. Being a cold, high-altitude region, traditional earth burials or cremations are difficult due to a lack of wood and fuel. Don't think that this method of burial is only for the poor, as the wealthy also participate in this ritual. However, for the wealthy, they often include additional steps, such as washing the body, wrapping it in white cloth, and having the lamas pray for the soul's release from suffering. Immersing newborns in glacial waters. In Tibet, the ritual of immersing newborns in icy glacial waters on their first birthday is a unique and controversial custom. In this ceremony, the most authoritative woman in the village takes the child and submerges them in the cold water for 1 minute, leaving only their head above the surface. This is indeed a harsh challenge, akin to the practices of allowing newborns to sleep outdoors in the frigid conditions of Norway. After the immersion, the child is pulled out, dressed in regular clothing, and wrapped in a blanket. If the baby survives this ordeal, it signifies that they have passed a severe selection process essential for life. However, in the worst-case scenario, if the child turns blue and begins to lose consciousness, the family understands that they must prepare for a funeral, as it is believed by Tibetans that this indicates the child has failed the trial and it is time to end their life. Interestingly, Tibetans can thrive at high altitudes due to a special gene inherited from a now extinct human lineage known as Denisovans. This gene may have allowed them to adapt more effectively to the harsh environment compared to modern Homo sapiens. When a new member is born into a family, 2 large banners are hung outside their home. One banner serves to ward off evil spirits and protect the child, while the other is meant to bring good fortune to the family. However, the real celebration begins only when the child is 3 days old for boys and 4 days old for girls, marking an important moment for the child's new life within the community. Tibet says no to tea. When discussing Tibet, it's impossible not to mention butter tea, a traditional beverage that has long been embedded in the culture of this highland region. Butter tea is not merely a drink. It is considered a sacred water due to its remarkable benefits, helping to keep warm and replenish nutrition, especially in harsh weather conditions. Although China is the world's largest tea producer, with nearly 3 million tons annually, Tibet cannot cultivate tea due to its climate and geography. Known for having the 3rd largest freshwater and ice reserves globally, after the Arctic and Antarctic, Tibet's climate is unsuitable for tea cultivation. Consequently, butter tea is primarily transported from India along specific trade routes. Tibetan merchants established a horse trade tea route spanning nearly 4,000 kilometers. The arduousness and length of these paths have made the Tea Horse Road one of the legendary trade routes, comparable to the famous Silk Road. Thus, butter tea has become an indispensable part of daily life for Tibetans, serving as a symbol of cultural and commercial connection between diverse regions. Lungta prayer flags. When thinking of Tibet, the vivid image of colorful Lungta prayer flags fluttering against the deep blue sky undoubtedly comes to mind for many. These flags are not merely decorative, they carry a spiritual message, whispering the hopes and wishes of the Tibetan people for a life filled with peace and happiness. Each Lungta flag is adorned with images, mantras, and prayers, with the central symbol being the wind horse, representing the 3 jewels of Buddhism. The 4 corners of the flag are embellished with mystical creatures: Garuda, a divine bird symbolizing wisdom; the dragon, representing power; the tiger, embodying faith; and the snow lion, symbolizing courage and strength. These images hold not only cultural significance, but also deep spiritual values. When you visit Tibet, if you happen to see a prayer flag that has fallen to the ground, never step on it. Instead, gently pick it up and rehang it in a high place or give it to the local people. Hanging a Lungta flag at a height allows the prayers to be carried away by the wind, bringing blessings to everyone. Conversely, if the flag is hung incorrectly or for an extended period, it can bring misfortune, creating even greater obstacles over time. Historically, in the Himalayan mountains, Lungta has been regarded as a valuable asset. When a son marries and goes to live with his wife's family, they gift him a Lungta flag as part of his dowry. This practice highlights that the value of the Lungta flag transcends material possessions, embodying spiritual significance and a profound connection to Tibetan culture. Mount Kailash, the center of the world. Mount Kailash, located in the Pulan County of Tibet, China, is not only a spiritually significant peak but also holds intriguing coincidences related to numbers. With its pyramid-like shape and a perpetual aura of light, Kailash has captivated the attention of researchers and mystics alike. One of the most remarkable aspects of Mount Kailash is its connection to ancient landmarks around the globe, such as the pyramids of Egypt and Stonehenge. Interestingly, the average elevation of Mount Kailash is 6,666 meters, and the distance from Stonehenge to the mountain is also 6,666 kilometers. Adding to the mystique, Kailash is similarly distanced from the North Pole at 6,666 kilometers, while the distance to the South Pole is exactly double that figure, at 13,332 kilometers. These numerical patterns raise questions about whether they are mere coincidences or hold deeper significance. Furthermore, there is a fascinating relationship between other famous pyramids worldwide. The distance between the pyramids in Mexico and the Pyramid of Khufu is 3 times the distance from Khufu's pyramid to Mount Kailash. Moreover, the distance from Kailash to Easter Island is also 3 times the length of Stonehenge. Numerologists view these figures as meaningful and not coincidentally related to this enigmatic mountain. Is Mount Kailash truly the center of the earth, possessing the ability to warp time and space? This question remains shrouded in mystery, with no definitive answers yet. What are your thoughts on these peculiar coincidences? Share your opinions in the comments. Thank you for watching the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe to catch our next intriguing content.